I'm at Divertimenti Marylebone High Street for the Divertimenti Culinary Salon Women in Food, and it's my pleasure to welcome Kristen Schnepp, owner, founder, cheese guru of Gringa Dairy.
Thanks for having me.
So I have to ask you how a Californian, which I didn't realize,
yes,
is making cheese in Britain, a Mexican cheese in Peckham.
Yes, because I really want it to be as unique as possible, to be as strange as one could possibly be.
So I think I'm safe. Nobody else is doing this.
You know, people get confused. There's so many of us.
So how come? I mean, first of all, why Mexican cheese?
Why Mexican cheese? Well, why cheese was, it was time for a change. You know, I had a whole career in marketing and that kind of thing. You wake up, it's 44, and it was the, you know, I did what I was supposed to do. Now it's time to do what I want to do. And I just wanted to make cheese. You know how you wake up and you're like, I want to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a cheesemaker. So, okay, cheese. But let's have a cheese that makes sense. So no one needs another cheddar.
Fully taken care of.
Fully
We're sorted.
We're sorted on the whole cheddar front. And you know, all the British territorials, people are doing great things with those cheeses now. But you know, as you know, over the last 5 years in the UK, Mexican food quality and quantity has really increased. And so I really felt that there was a need for that because chefs are now being served by a supply chain around dried, around canned, around other things, but they were never going to get the dairy. So I'm like, look, I can meet this niche. I understand the cheeses. No one else is doing it. Why not?
So how do you go about, because as you've noted, there are lots of differences in the milk, in, you know, the whole thing to create as authentic as you can Mexican cheese.
Yeah. So the milk, even though the cows are the same, the milk is incredibly different because the diet is different and you just can't pick up the recipes and import them. Also, the health and safety regulations are a little bit different there.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit, you know. People say that milk is often left out to acidify overnight, you know, for a fresh cheese, which in the UK, your environmental health officer will run screaming out of the room. That's just not going to happen.
After they shut you down.
Yes, exactly. You got closed. Nice to know ya. So yeah, you have to really do those different things. And for me, it was about, well, I need to mimic the taste and try to bring in the techniques. And so what I kind of said was, and now when I think back about it, it was really kind of perhaps arrogant to say I could figure this out, going, I know what I want the cheeses to taste like. I'm going to learn as much as I can about different cheese making techniques to mimic the flavor, and then we'll just see what happens.
And how long did it take you from that point to when you were like, yeah, this is good enough to be on the market?
You know, it was, I had decided to go for it before the cheeses were ready. I was like, I believed that it was going to happen. I believed it was going to happen. Crazy, right? In retrospect.
Force of mind.
Yes, it was like, you know, Jedi mind tricks. You will be delicious. I just, you know, it has to happen. I go, if I can't, I'll figure it out. So it took 6, 7, 8 months to get queso fresco ready, and then to take it from small scale production to large scale production, and then after that to start bringing on the other cheeses. So there was a lot of crying over the vat, weeping, open weeping, and you know, sleepless nights. But we finally got there. Yeah.
And I have to ask you about one other thing, the pig project, and that's not the correct name.
Yes, the pig idea.
The pig idea.
Yes, pig idea, great project. So you know that there has been this ban in the UK since hoof and mouth, whatever, about eating swills. And so when I had reached out to folks around me, trying to get someone to take my way,
because it's amazing, nutritious stuff.
Yeah, it's like, this is great. This is great stuff. Farmers who used to come into London to pick up product like that, because fuel had become so expensive, it became prohibitive. So they just weren't doing it anymore. So when I started to ask around, I found out about the pig idea, and I said, wow, Stepney City Farm will take my way, and I can also become an advocate for changing the law in the EU. So behind Thomasina Myers, behind Tristan Stewart, that are all saying, hey, let's get this changed, I was able to do it to feed some lovely and delicious pigs.
And lucky pigs.
Lucky pigs. It was so great to meet them, you know, and you bring the way.
Did they say thank you?
It was their favorite thing. And so the farmers would be, it is their favorite thing, you know. I'm like, I'm popular with the pigs.
It's beautiful. I love it. It's gone all the way.
Which is all, yes. And then Thomasina, of course, using some of our cheese and telling that story of we're trying to be as sustainable as possible. Because cheese has a lot of byproduct. Whey is about 90% of what you produce. And so to not have that sustainably handled, you know, kind of criminal. So, yeah.
All good stuff. Well, we can't wait to try the cheese because you brought some for us tonight.
I did.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for joining us at the Divertimenti Culinary Salon.
Thanks.